Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Eustace Pharmer, and this is episode 2 in our little West Coast adventures. So I'm just taking an early morning walk before I start my workday. It's so nice to do going through the countryside here. And a lot has changed since we last met. First thing being, it was in the end of August, and now it is the next year, and it is early spring. So it's about 7:20 in the morning. And there's some obvious things that have changed here if you're familiar with the area. Mr. Manning generously offered up this guest house that was built with the original house several hundred years ago. And we fixed up the inside over the wintertime, and it came out quite well. So I'll have to give you a tour on that at some point. But we also did a lot of landscaping around the yards and stuff like that, and put up these nice flower boxes all over the place. So these will sprout up beautiful English lavender later on this spring. And we have some in the back here, nice partition. And then, of course, my umbrella table, so me and the family can sit out and enjoy our lunch in the warm summer afternoons. So we don't need the umbrella just yet, though. I just did that to show you. So... And then we have all this nice security lighting. So I call it security lighting because, for lack of a better term, they're old lampposts that the city was giving away, auctioning off. They weren't giving it away, but we got them at a cut rate deal. So we installed them here, being the circumstances under which I came to the West Coast. So that really enhances everything here, and I don't have to worry about somebody prowling around over here because it gets pitch black. Can't see the hand in front of your face down here in the countryside. So I paid for these lights back here out of my own budget, and of course, as I should. But Mr. Manning paid to have these installed over here. So we put them up, but we had an electrician come and wire them in. So we have a busy day ahead of us. We're going to go down to Clifftop Farm, and we're going to pick up a tractor that Mr. Manning purchased. It's not in the best of condition, at least running-wise. But the farmer said that he did spray some ether in the motor and got it to crank over. I don't know how long, but it sounds like we might be able to get it started. And he did change the oil, so that way if we do get it started, we don't have to worry about leaving it running. So how are we going to go ahead and get down there? Well, first we have to go to the shop and pick up the truck. And we're going to do that with my new car. So this has been a little weekend and holiday project of mine. A little Bondo, little vacuum, little this, little that. But let me show you here. Try not to give it away. Okay, so we have Herbie the lovebug. Something you would only expect to see on the Eustace Pharmer channel. So it's a replica. And did it myself. So even got the California original Herbie license plate, the OFP 857. So Herbie was a 1963 Volkswagen. This one that we found is a 66. And for those that don't know the movie Herbie the Love Bug, it started in 1968. And then later on in time, I think in 1977... there was Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, and then in the 80s there was Herbie Goes Bananas, and he was basically a sentient living car that had a mind of his own and took the drivers, the owners, along for the ride. I remember one of the actors, of course, his name was Don Knotts, and he played Sheriff Barney Fife on Andy Griffith, for anybody that knows that show. So it came out very well. Now, this car was missing the canvas roll-top sunroof, I guess you would call it. On the original car, you roll back this canvas cover. It's like a manual convertible, and then you'd have an open air opening there. So we added in the canvas top on that. So it came out very nice. All right. Well, I'm going to go back into the house and just grab a cup of coffee and a little something to snack on before we start our day. I'll bring it with me, and then we'll get on with it. So see you in a moment. All right. Well, my wife made me sit down at the table and eat a good hearty breakfast, so I had some nice bacon and eggs. So much for the croissant and coffee. Let's go ahead and get this puppy turned over here. Oh, yes. Now, one thing you're going to notice once we pull out of the garage, I'm going to deploy a drone, but I've come up with a little kind of a jerry-rigged system here where we can have the drone track the car. How did I do that? Well, quite a while back, there was a program, I don't even know if it's still in existence anymore, but it was called LoJack. So it was basically a transponder that you had installed in the trunk of your car, and the police, if your car was stolen, it would alert the police, or you alert the police, and then they could track your car. Well, I kind of took some of that technology and I implemented it with the drone. So basically, the transponder is in the car and the receiver is in the drone. So the drone will follow along, and with an app on my phone, I can also control its height and attitude and all of that. So pretty good. And you can even put in pre-programmed coordinates once you've established that it won't hit power lines and all that. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull out here. So this is going to enable me to give traveling views outside of the car or whatever vehicle we're driving without having a second person. All right, so I'm going to pop open the gate, and I'm also going to deploy the drone, and I'll be back in a moment. There we go. Looking pretty good. And this way you can watch Herbie on his little adventure. I know I'm a dork, guys. But as a kid, I was always fascinated by this car. I even had a little toy version, and I was thrilled when I found this 66 Beetle and was able to do something with it. So we're getting on the road here early this morning because before the heavy commuter traffic starts. There's still, a few people milling about, but nothing like, believe it or not, it can get quite busy, especially down here in the center of town, Riverton-on-Sea. So we're going to be pulling in the back way of the dealership. Mr. Manning expanded the dealership, and we have our trucks and truck repair back here. So, and then once we get the truck, we'll go over and grab the tow bar, and we'll be on our way. All right, so I'm going to have the drone stand here and hover. There we go. Because we have to pull in the garage, and we don't want to do the old clothesline trick. All right, so I'll just park over here, and I say out of the way, and what I mean is out of my way so I don't crush my new car with the truck. I think those who watch my channel regularly have been witness to my driving skills. Don't park your car near mine. So we'll see you in a little bit, Herb. So now, common sense would actually tell me today that I probably should take this little trailer because it's just big enough for a tractor. And it does have this bail wedge on the back. It's a steel diamond plate bail wedge that you can add or take off. So it really comes in handy. So it makes the trailer nice and level. But this lowboy trailer over here, believe it or not, is going to be more effective because both of these sit rather low. The terrain around here is varying heights and sometimes to the extreme. So not only do the wheels hydraulically lift up and down here, but you can also pivot this gooseneck tool tray, and that causes the bed to lift up in the front as well. Now, you don't want to ride with it like that at an extended period of time because it's going to put pressure on the kingpin, but you can do it to get in and out of certain situations with no detrimental effects whatsoever. So we could take the Scania, but we're going to go ahead and take this truck over here, the Volvo, because it's got a lot of cool beacon lights. That's the only reason. So, and this trailer, eventually, we're going to have to take it back to the farm and fill it up with some of the grain that's left over from the harvest and bring it down to Frontier, which Mr. Manning is also part owner in. So we had the trailer come in for a service. So really nice looking trailer. Support British farming. Absolutely we do. So and there's their custom license plate. B-Boxy. All right. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to hop in here, and I'll get the lowboy hooked up, and then we'll be on our way. All right. And if you're wondering, I did pull the handle on the kingpin release on the fifth wheel already. And as you see here, we've installed some barriers around the little waiting area and the container office that we put here. It's just another testament to my driving. Now, I won't kill our customers or our inhabitants in our office. So I hope you've all been doing well. I apologize about the lack of videos lately. How about we go forward? There we go. I do suffer from several torn discs in my back, and at certain times of the year they get pretty painful. So I've had to take a little bit of a break from my video editing and making endeavors here, and that does happen from time to time, so I do hope that you'll understand. And I've also had some strange video quality issues with some of that screen tear pixelation going on, so I've tweaked a lot of my settings because I have a new graphics card installed. I got a GTX 1080 Titan, so there was some additional settings that I needed to tweak, so I hope this renders well. If it comes out a little bit blocky or pixelated, I do apologize in advance. Let's see, I guess I'm going to have to pull in. I don't want the traffic to hit the truck. All right, let me pop in and get the tow bar. There she blows. Can't miss that, even me. Now, hopefully I can get out the door with it. And we'll just toss her up here in our tool tray. There we are. And off we go. So we're going to take a right here. It's probably going to be the easiest way today, if I don't take the lamppost off in the process. Let's see. I think we're just going to clear it. Yep. Oh, that was luck. Let's hope the rest of our day goes like that. So in the next episode, which is going to be very soon to follow, there's going to be a lot of plowing, cultivating, and everything else, because we're working against the clock here with our seasons. So Mr. Manning expects to have these fields properly prepared in the proper amount of time. So we want to make sure we stay to task. So we got our drone going here, as you've noticed, and treat you to some beautiful Riverton countryside views. And that's basically the whole focus of this episode, is to really drive home some of the gorgeous views this area of the world has to offer. So I will put up in a little slideshow of some photos of areas like this around the west coast of England, just so you can see just how beautiful it is. And sometime there's a footpath that goes the entire length of this area down here, and we're going to have an episode. If I can get a hold of a dirt bike, I don't think you're going to like watching me walk it. But if we can take a leisurely drive with a dirt bike, we'll do the entire path. Let's see, we'll take our left here. And here's the terrain I was talking about. As you see, it can get pretty uneven. Ouch. Ouch. And here we are. So now comes the game plan. I have not had time to survey the area before I came to pick up the tractor, so what I think, he said the tractor is in the back adjacent the shed, Well, it looks like there's several sheds, but the back is straight ahead. So, yeah. Now we have some chickens to work with, so hopefully we won't be making chicken salad. Ooh, 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 ooh. Almost cleaned up the fender on the wood post. All right, folks. Well, while I get the toolbar all hooked up and get this trailer prepared, I'm going to go ahead and treat you to a little West Coast slideshow. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I got the tow bar all hooked up, and I did go inside and turn it over just a little bit, just to see if it cranks, and it does. I don't want to have it fully running until I need to get it onto the bed in case it quits. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull it out of the weeds. It's poor old forgotten soul here, and I should probably close the door on the tractor. There we go. Now I got to get out of here. Mommy, help. Okay, wish me luck. Here we go. Let's make sure we're in forward. Saw those reverse lights on. Come on, baby. Nice and slow. Excellent. There we go. It's a little nippy this morning, so I think I'm going to put the toolbar here for now. All right, Houston, we have separation. Let's hope we can keep it running, because I don't think I can push this thing. Please start. Let's get it moving. Oh, wait for it to do its thing. Okay, we're in gear. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's ready to go. It wants to come home with us. So this will be going back to the Manning's dealership so it can be refurbished before we bring it back to the farm. Safe and sound. Instead of backing up, because I'd have to back up all the way down the road because there's nowhere to turn around. The farmer told us of an alternative route that's just around the back of this shed here, and it goes over the railroad tracks out to the main road. There we go. All right, so I am going to back up a little bit because I want to take a nice wide berth over here. And I mean, I could back up down the entire road, but that's just like ridiculous. I'd wind up just doing it to try to show off and then wind up messing up the whole thing. Nice and steady. And hopefully we can... Yes. I don't want to scratch up this truck. So now, to get around this corner of the shed, we'll have to take on some of these twigs here. I'll have to get out the buffing wheel when I get back to the shop. Nice and sharp. I'm going to keep it honest. You'll be able to see everything I do. Nice. Okay, we're safe. And now out that gate. And then I think the worst of the challenge is over, I hope. And there we are. Now that tow bar is going to fall off. Let me fix that. This tow bar is like Herbie. It's got a mind of its own. Oh, that's much better. Up we go. All right. Now we have to mind the road here because it's very, very rough. And I'm stuck already. So here's where this comes in. Watch this, folks. So we'll just raise up the back a little more. And then our tool tray. There we go. And now that just evened up the whole bed. And we'll keep it here because it looks like there's going to be a bit of an incline coming up to the bridge. Slow and steady wins the race, I always say. And once we get through here, We'll go ahead and lower our tray back. There we go. And hopefully we won't even go near his field, even though he said it's okay if we drive on it a little bit. But, no, I don't want to compact the field before he even has a chance to do anything with it. Wow, I just can't get over the views. I'm sorry to tell you. Hit that corner a little bit. Sorry about that. All right, let me go ahead and open this gate. Okay. All right. So now, if I went to the right, that would take us down to the dual carriageway, and we don't want that today. Okay, so I called ahead. Look at these rude people honking. I'm sorry to be in your way. I called ahead to the livestock dealer and asked if we can cut through their yard so that way we can have a straight shot right into Manning's, and they agreed. So as soon as this pickup truck gets out of the way, we'll take this right turn. All right, good. Lovely. The pressures of rush hour, everybody. Trying to sleep in as late as they can, and then trying to get to work on time. This doesn't look too bad, just a little zig and a little zag. And in we go. Look both ways for the traffic. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around. There we go. And we'll angle it for a nice shot right into the garage. Alrighty, let's get it cranked up and in there. Okay. Oh, we need reverse again. Just one of those formalities. There we go, safe and sound. Actually sounds like it's running pretty decent now. Well, still needs a good overhaul, so Mr. Manning will spare no expense. Alright, so I'm going to get this all gathered up, and then we'll head back to the yard. In we go. Just hook this back up into its respective home, and we'll be all set. Okay. Looking good. All right, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in, taking a little time out of your day to spend with me, old Eustace. And I also want to say, again, I am very, very grateful. Thank you so much for all your wonderful comments and for your loyal subscribership. It really does mean a lot. It seems that I'm going to be approaching 3,000 subscribers soon if things keep going the way they're going and I can manage to keep putting out videos. So I want to thank you all very much. I've met a lot of wonderful people, and I have a lot of wonderful dear friends in you, and it's much appreciated. As the train goes by, let's have a look. All right. So until we meet again, my friends, please take great care of yourself, okay? And bye-bye for now.